Okay, ready to dive in today. We're tackling a topic that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, zombie cells.
And as spooky as they sound, these zombie cells are actually a fascinating and important part of aging research.
Right, I mean, they're not fictional creatures, but the name really fits, don't you think? The source for today's deep dive, topnaturalhealth.com, calls them secret agents of aging. And after reading up on them, I have to agree.
They're sneaky like that. These zombie cells, or to use their scientific name, senescent cells, are actually damaged cells that refuse to die.
And they hang out in our bodies causing all sorts of trouble. They don't just take up space, they secrete stuff that causes inflammation, which we know is a major contributor to aging, and a whole bunch of age-related diseases.
It's true. And the more we learn about these senescent cells, the more we learn about how to target them. That's where Senolytics come in.
And that brings us to Fisetin, which is what we're really digging into today. A natural compound found in certain fruits, like strawberries, apples, that some research is suggesting could be a real game changer when it comes to slowing down aging at the cellular level.
It's really fascinating stuff, and I think what makes it so compelling is it's not just about living longer. It's about living healthier, more vibrant lives as we age.
Okay, I'm on board with that. But let's break down the science a bit. You mentioned Fisetin is a senolytic. I'll be honest, I'm not a scientist. What does that even mean in simple terms?
Sure, think of a Senolytic like it's sort of cellular cleanup crew. What it does is target these zombie cells, these senescent cells we've been talking about, and it helps to remove them from the body.
So kind of like hitting the reset button on those aging cells.
Yes, in a way. And what's especially interesting about Fisetin is that it acts as both a senolytic and an antioxidant.
A two-for-one deal. So it's cleaning house, A&D, setting up defenses for the future. We hear a lot about antioxidants, but remind me why they're so important.
Antioxidants like Fisetin are like little bodyguards for our cells. They protect healthy cells from damage caused by free radicals.
Okay, got it. Free radicals, those are the unstable molecules that cause all sorts of cellular chaos, sort of like rust, slowly but surely eating away at a car, right?
That's a great way to put it. And antioxidants like Fisetin come in and neutralize those troublemakers, which helps to slow down that damage.
So it sounds like Fisetin is a powerful ally in the fight against aging, tackling those existing problem cells while strengthening our defenses against future damage. But honestly, what's most fascinating to me is that we're not talking about some synthetic concoction created in a lab. We're talking about something found naturally in food strawberries.
Exactly. And that's a big part of the appeal for a lot of people. It's a natural compound with a growing body of research suggesting some pretty remarkable health benefits.
Speaking of research, there was a study published in 2018 in eBiomedicine that caught my eye. They looked at 10 different flavonoids.
And Fisetin is a flavonoid.
Exactly. And get this, they found that Fisetin was the most effective at getting rid of those senescent cells.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. It really shows how powerful this natural compound can be.
Right. And I mean, it really gets you thinking, if Fisetin can actually target these zombie cells like that, what kind of impact could that have on our health as we age? We were already talking about the potential benefits, less inflammation, better brain health, even improvements to cardiovascular health.
And that's what's so exciting about this research. It's like we've known for a while now that inflammation is one of the main culprits behind aging and so many of those chronic diseases that we see.
So we're talking about going after the root cause of aging here instead of just putting a Band-Aid on the symptoms.
Exactly. And if we can find ways to really get that inflammation under control, well, it could have huge positive effects on our overall health and well-being.
I mean, it's really a game changer, right? But I'll be honest, I like to be practical. It's good to know that Fisetin exists, that's great, but I want to know, how do we actually use it in our everyday lives? Is it as easy as just eating more strawberries?
That's a great question. And don't get me wrong, enjoying those fruits is definitely a good thing. But the research suggests that if you really want to experience the full potential of Fisetin, you might need to think about supplementation.
That makes sense. We'd probably have to eat a whole farm's worth of strawberries every day to get the amount of Fisetin that research is looking at.
Yeah, you'd be eating strawberries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So you're saying supplements are the way to go to really tap into Fisetin's potential?
It seems that way. But, and this is important, not all Fisetin supplements are created equal.
Okay, so what should we be looking for when we're trying to sort through all the options out there?
One of the key things is absorption. You want to make sure that the Fisetin you're taking is actually being absorbed by your body and that it's able to reach the cells where it can do its job.
Yeah.
That's where this GenuinePurity Liposomal Fisetin comes in. We mentioned topnaturalhealth.com earlier. Well, they really emphasize this liposomal encapsulation technology. Have you heard about that?
I've heard the term, but I'll admit it sounds a bit like something from Star Trek. Can you break that down for me?
It's actually pretty cool when you get down to it.
Yeah.
Imagine each tiny Fisetin molecule being encased in a protective bubble.
Okay, I can picture that.
And these bubbles are made of something called liposomes. Liposomes are similar to the membranes of our own cells. Pretty cool, huh?
So they're like tiny Trojan horses, sneaking the fisin past our digestive system and delivering it right to our cells.
You got it. That's a great way to think about it. And what this liposomal encapsulation does is it helps the Fisetin get past the harsh environment of the stomach and intestines, so it doesn't just get broken down before it can actually be useful. And that means that your body can absorb more of it and ultimately use more of it effectively. We call that being more bioavailable.
So it's about making sure that the fisetin doesn't just disappear in our gut, but actually makes it into our system where it can make a difference. So with this genuine purity liposomal fisetin, we're talking about potentially greater absorption, which could mean more effectiveness overall. Am I right?
You're exactly right. And another thing I appreciate about Genuine Purity is their focus on quality and being transparent. They use a clinically studied dose of 150 milligrams. This dose has been researched and shown to be both safe and effective. Not only that, they provide a certificate of analysis so you can actually see the quality of what you're getting.
I think especially with supplements, transparency is a big deal, and that certificate of analysis is a great touch. It definitely gives you more confidence in what you're putting into your body. And speaking of confidence, I saw that they have a pretty awesome money-back guarantee, don't they?
They do. It's a 97-day money-back guarantee. That's almost 3 months. They really stand behind their product and want people to feel good about trying it out.
It definitely makes you feel like they're not just about making a quick sale. They're invested in their product and believe it's truly beneficial. Now, we're zeroing in on fisetin, and the science is super interesting, but are there any other Senolytics out there that show promise, or is fisetin the current rock star in this area?
Fisetin's definitely a top contender right now, but the whole field of Senolytics research is really taking off. Scientists are constantly looking at new compounds and figuring out new ways to go after those senescent cells. For example, there's some really promising research happening with quercetin, a natural compound that's found in grapes.
Oh yeah, quercetin. That's supposed to be good for allergies, right?
You got it. It's a powerful antioxidant and has anti-inflammatory properties, and some studies are suggesting that it might also work as a senolytic.
So it's a multitasker, just like fisetin. I love how nature often seems to have exactly what we need.
I know. It's pretty remarkable. But it's really important to remember, with all this exciting research, that senolytics aren't a magic bullet. They're not a replacement for a healthy lifestyle.
Right. It's not like we can pop a pill and expect to live to be 150 while living on pizza and donuts.
I wish it were that easy.
Me too. But it's good to be realistic.
Exactly. A healthy diet, regular exercise, and managing stress, those are all crucial pieces of the healthy aging puzzle. Senolytics are just one piece of a much larger picture.
A promising piece, but still just one piece of the whole picture.
Absolutely. It's about having a well-rounded approach to health and well-being, not relying on one single thing.
And going back to topnaturalhealth.com, one thing I do like is that they emphasize that balanced perspective. They're promoting healthy living alongside their products, which I think is really important.
I agree. It's definitely something to look for anytime you're looking at supplements or really any health product. Is the company just trying to sell you something, or are they giving you good information and helping you make the best choices for your health?
It's all about finding companies that share your values and prioritize your well-being. It really feels like we're on the verge of something big here, you know? Like we're starting to understand aging in a whole new way. It's exciting stuff.
I know, it really is. And to think, it all started with scientists wondering what secrets might be hiding in something as simple as a strawberry.
It just goes to show you the incredible power of nature and why it's so important to keep exploring the world around us.
I completely agree. There's still so much we don't know, so many potential discoveries out there just waiting to be found.
Makes you wonder what other amazing compounds are out there just waiting to share their potential with us. It's really got me thinking.
Yeah, it's an exciting thought. And while we're waiting for those next big discoveries, it's important to remember that we don't have to just sit back and wait to take charge of our health.
That's a great point. We've been diving deep into fisetin and its potential, but it's not a cure-all, right? It's one part of a bigger strategy.
Exactly. Things like a healthy diet, making sure we're exercising, and finding ways to manage stress. Those are all essential parts of healthy aging.
It's about looking at the whole picture and making sure all the pieces are working together. And hey, speaking of which, if you're listening and want to learn more about Fisetin, head over to topnaturalhealth.com. They were our source for this deep dive.
They've got tons of great info on their site, plus they offer GenuinePurity Liposomal Fisetin, the product we were talking about earlier, and they've got those great promo code prices.
Can't beat that. Saving money while investing in your health. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. It's always a pleasure chatting with you and exploring these fascinating topics.
The feeling's mutual. Until next time.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Remember, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay curious. We'll catch you on the next one.